हरि ओम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Bhagavad Gita, a conversation with God daily. In this series, today, chapter 9, shloka number 29. Samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mahi te teshu chapyaham. Yesterday, we saw how actually the path of devotion is so very easy. The Lord doesn't expect anything from his devotee other than devotion. And through devotion, how one is totally freed from all his karmas and he attains liberation. And today it is continued. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha. You say that one who is devoted, he will be freed of his karmas and he will attain liberation. Then does it mean that God is partial? He actually blesses only those who are devoted to him. He likes them. And others he does not like. He is biased. Is that the meaning? It is said, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha. Krishna says, I am equal to everyone. For me, all are equal. I don't hate someone or I don't love someone. Everyone is the same to me. I am the Antaryami of everyone. I am actually everyone. Why is it that I should like someone and I should dislike someone else? But ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya te teshu chapyaham. Those who are actually devoted to me, they are in me and I am in them. There is fire and it is very cold. Only if you go near the fire, you get the heat from it and you are relieved of that cold. If you are going to stay far away somewhere and you want comfort from the fire for your cold, is it possible? No. You will have to go near the fire to actually enjoy its heat. Similarly, those who actually go near to God, they feel God is mine. I am God's very own. and they have God near them in all their actions, in their daily life, then they are able to actually experience God's grace, God's power actually to bestow anything. The fire doesn't feel, I don't like that person, so I will not provide heat to him. The person himself, he is not coming near. Similarly, God doesn't hate or like anyone. We living beings of our own choice, some actually are devoted to God. They want God. Some feel, why do I need God in my life? And they stay away from God. So God also is away from them, stays far off from them. So, I don't hate or like anyone. It is they who actually desire me or dislike me. The sun's rays falls equally everywhere, right? Sun's rays, whatever it be, whether it be a gutter or whether it be river Tamraparni, everywhere the sun's rays falls equally. But a mirror actually reflects the sun's rays, but a opaque pot cannot reflect the sun's rays. Similarly, the devotees actually, their heart is so pure, and because of that they are able to actually grasp God easily. And when your heart is so full of so many unwanted things, emotions, full of dirt, will somebody desire to come and live there? It is totally opaque, it's not clear. So it is unable to actually reflect that God's light. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi saha. Apichetsu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. One may be actually of very bad conduct. Very bad conduct, suduracharo. He has so many bad habits in him. But still, bhajate mam ananya bhak. He actually thinks of me always. He is devoted to me. But he also does various things which should not be done. So many evil habits also he has. But still, sadhureva samantavyaha. You will have to consider him only as a devotee. You should not blame him. You should not find fault with him. Correcting him is my duty. I'll take care of him. You don't think he's going in the wrong path. He says, I am a great devotee. But look at how he's living. By saying that, we may actually incur sin. But he will slowly rise up. Samyak vyavastito hi saha. He actually, when he has total belief in God and he is on the path of devotion, when he is firmly established in that path, he should definitely consider only as a devotee. क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शाश्वत शान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शाश्वत शान्तिं निगच्छति क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा he will very soon be reformed of all his bad habits शाश्वत शान्तिं निगच्छति he will very soon become very good kaunteya pratijanihi Krishna says Arjuna you just take a oath you just proclaim to the entire world name bhaktaha pranashyati my devotee will never be destroyed you just proclaim to the whole world because Krishna feels some may believe or not believe this. Having so many evil habits, so many bad habits, bad qualities, and you just call yourself a devotee, go to the temple, sing some bhajans. How is it okay? How can you actually attain good worlds? Or is it actually justice? Is it actually right? On the part of God. So Krishna says, no, don't have any doubt. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. Not that I'll accept him or he will attain my feet as a man with bad qualities itself. I will reform him and I will actually take him to my abode. புந்தியில் புகுந்து அவன்பால் ஆதரம் பெருக வைத்த அழகனோ. If somebody else means it is difficult to reform. But one who is one's own, very own antaryami, God can do anything from inside. So he will reform that person. And Arjuna immediately, it is actually to this extent God's compassion is actually explained by the elders. Arjuna says, Krishna, your devotee will never get destroyed. Arjuna, what did I ask you to say? Name bhaktaha pranashyati. That's what Krishna, Arjuna says in a louder voice. Krishna's devotee will never be destroyed. Again, Krishna, Arjuna, what did I ask you to say? Name bhaktaha pranashyati. My devotee will not be destroyed. Meaning, not just Krishna's devotee, even Arjuna's devotees or those who are very near and dear to Arjuna, even they will not be destroyed. To that extent, God looks after his devotees. Not just his devotees, but even the near and dear of the devotees. His family, his friends, who were actually take refuge in the devotee. In Mahabharata, there is an incident. The Kandava Dahana, the Lord of Fire in the form of a Brahmin, comes and approaches Arjuna and Krishna. They are together. And a Brahmin comes and asks, I'm so hungry. Can you feed me? Of course. Definitely we'll feed you. Immediately that Brahmin takes the form of Lord Agni. And he says, I want you to feed me this entire forest. So now Krishna and Arjuna together, they are actually burning the entire forest, offering it to Lord Agni. Everything is on fire everywhere. Now this Maya, Asura, he actually is there in that forest. Krishna's chakra is after him. And immediately he screams, Arjuna, Arjuna. It's Krishna's chakra that is after him. He should scream, Krishna, please save me. No, please don't kill me. He screams, Arjuna, Arjuna. He feels, why call this fellow Krishna when he is trying to kill me? I'll call Arjuna. And immediately Krishna recalls his chakra, because that person has taken refuge in his devotee. You take refuge in God. God may accept or not, but when you take refuge in God's devotee, God definitely actually blesses us. So, and that Asura was saved. There is an incident in Mahabharata. Name bhaktaha pranashyati. The meaning for that extends to that extent. And we'll see an incident in the life of Tulasidas. Tulasidas, who wrote the Ramayana in Hindi, Ramcharitamanas. That Tulasidas, once he is conducting a Ramayana Navaha, and on the last day he is actually feeding a lot of saints. He is feeding, and all have actually sat down and they are ready to start eating. At that instant, a person enters. He comes and sits. Ram Ram, he says, and he comes and sits there to eat. As that person sits, immediately all others get up and they leave the place. Tulasidas then just rushes towards them and asks, why is it that all of you are leaving? Why is it? Why are you all leaving? Please sit. Have your food. They all say, this man is... We have actually ostracized that person from our society. He has committed so many sins. We no longer mingle with him. If he is going to eat, then we all will leave. Immediately, Tulasidas says, did you all hear what he said before he started eating? He said, Ram, Ram. The instant he uttered Lord Rama's name, all his sins were destroyed. He is no longer a sinner. He is a devotee of Lord Rama. But those Brahmins, they were not ready to accept it. They all started leaving. Tulasidas then says, I'll prove to you that this man is not a sinner. He takes the plate of that man. He had actually started eating, right? Now that remains in the plate, he goes to the temple of Vishwanatha, Kasi Vishwanatha. This happens in Kasi. And he places the plate of food before Nandikeshwara and says, if it is true that the Lord's name destroys all sins, if this man is no longer a sinner, if this man is a devotee of Lord Rama, if Lord Rama has accepted him, Nandikeshwara, please have this food. You please partake the remains of what he ate. The next instant, that stone Nandi makes a big sound and it starts eating that food. Immediately, all who are actually seeing this, they were stunned. They rush towards Tulasidas. Some fall at his feet. Some start actually screaming, Ram, 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 Ram. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. And it was thus proved that the Lord's name destroys all sins. Once you utter His name, you are no longer a sinner. So, if just uttering the name can destroy all sins, by just uttering His name, He accepts you as His very own. Then, why say about someone who actually daily listens to His qualities, listens to discourses on Him? One who actually daily writes Ramanama, he does Parayana, he does Puja, he does everything. But he has got some evil habits also. He commits some sins also, sometimes even great sins. But still, Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma. Very soon, he will be reformed. I'll take care of it, says Krishna. We'll stop with this for today. We'll continue tomorrow.